our Border Division Chief Goodbrand, and Orange County District Attorney Todd Spitzer.
Good afternoon. Yesterday, the California Highway Patrol announced the arrest of 2 suspects wanted in connection with the killing of 6-year-old Ayden Anthony Leos. There are few words to describe the feeling produced by the despicable actions of that day. The murder took place approximately 2 miles northeast of where we stand today on State Route 55. It goes without saying, no parent should be made to suffer the pain and loss Joanna, Joey, Alexis, and the rest of Ayden's extended family experienced that day and will continue to experience. Since that time of the original call, members of the California Highway Patrol have been laser focused on the apprehension of the person or persons responsible for Ayden's murder. Santa Ana investigators, along with investigators from the Border Division Investigative Services Unit, proceeded to conduct an intensive manhunt utilizing the resources of allied agencies, the Orange County District Attorney's Office, and most importantly, leaders within the Orange County and Southern California communities. Law enforcement agencies depend on the partnerships we have within that we have with each other, as well as partnerships with the communities we serve. I have never, in my 25-year career, have I witnessed those components work together so strongly to solve a crime as I have during this investigation. I am pleased to report 2 suspects have been apprehended and will be appropriately charged in the murder of Ayden Leos. Both suspects, a male and female, are residents of Costa Mesa. We have recovered what we believe are the weapon and automobile used in the crime. Information from the public throughout this process has been extremely helpful. On behalf of CHP Commissioner Amanda Ray, Border Division Chief Omar Watson, and all the members of the California Highway Patrol, we are deeply grateful for the professionalism and tireless commitment of our employees, as well as the indescribable outpouring of concern from the Southern California community. The department has been in regular contact with the victim's family, and I assure you they, as are we, committed to seeing justice served. We currently have investigators engaged in the work required to achieve justice, and I will be limited in the information I'll be able to share today. I look forward to sharing all aspects of our investigation in the appropriate venue and at the appropriate time. With that in mind, I would like to turn the podium over to Orange County District Attorney Todd Spitzer, who will be answering any questions, and I will answer any questions upon his conclusion of his remarks. Yes.
So, good afternoon. My name is Ayden Leos. What's your name? You know, I listened to and watched the memorial service on Saturday of this little boy. And I know the question has been going through everybody's mind. Why is there so much community support and outpouring? I want to thank Supervisor Wagner and Supervisor Foley for really stepping up and bringing so much attention and reward money to the table. But I really think the reason we were able to crack this case through the excellent work of the California Patrol, and I want to thank Commissioner Ray and Assistant Chief Goodbrand and also Captain Harris for their team. Amazing if you think about what they accomplished. But why so much interest in this little boy? And I think I know the answer. It's because it could have happened to any one of us. We all drive the freeways of Southern California. We've all gotten upset at other motorists. Other motorists have been upset at us. I've thrown some gestures about myself. But it's never come to a situation of violence, and certainly not in my realm or your realm to the loss of life. And today we have a mom who just within hours, a mother and father, a sister and brother who buried this little boy. And I know we're all literally torn up about it. But we're also professionals, and for the last 2 weeks, this amazing team assembled by the California Highway Patrol as a lead agency did whatever it would take to bring these individuals into custody, and they accomplished that yesterday. We didn't know exactly how long it would take or when it would happen, but when I got the text message that there was going to be these arrests yesterday, I was both elated and sad. Elated by the fact that we would have 2 individuals in custody, but really, really sad that there was a memorial service on Saturday and the burial today. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, these 2 individuals will be arraigned in the Orange County Superior Court. We have been given the case to our office, our lead prosecutor, Whitney Bukowski. We are reviewing the evidence, and we're looking at every single legal theory in conjunction with that evidence, and we will be making filing decisions with respect to both individuals either later today, but certainly with the deadline tomorrow. As you all know, an individual must be arraigned within 48 hours of their arrest, or they have to be released, and we will be ready and willing and able to file those charges. I want to thank the community. I think that's another thing here that's just been unbelievably phenomenal. The assault on law enforcement over the last year and a half has really been impactful, and quite frankly, as a participant and an observer, devastating. And yet the men and women of the California Highway Patrol, our sister and brother agencies, and the District Attorney's Office never gave up. They worked 24/7 to bring these individuals into custody. And you know now, once it's turned over to the District Attorney's Office, we are now the head of the prosecutorial team. We are responsible for this case, and it is now our responsibility to see this case to fruition. And so there was a handoff as a result of these arrests, and now the District Attorney's Office will lead the investigation. On Saturday, 3 speakers talked about, sorry about that. 3 speakers spoke: grandma, sister, and mom. 3 really important women figures in Ayden's life. And what mom said unequivocally is she is committed to and wants to see justice in this case. The Orange County District Attorney's Office is charged with only bringing forward the criminal charges that we can prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Clearly, there are different legal theories and potentially different charges with respect to the driver as opposed to the front seat passenger, and we will be more than willing to explain those once we decide what evidence shows. The one thing you don't want to do in the criminal justice system is make promises. You don't want to promise a little boy that he didn't die in vain and that you will get justice. You don't want to make that promise because you don't know what the outcome of the system is going to hold. You don't want to promise that to the mother, the sister, the brother, or the father, because they're relying on us now, all of us. All of us. The police officers that made the arrest, the prosecutors that will handle the prosecution, the elected officials who have done so much to step up to put this reward together and to be there for the family. We don't want to make promises. But there's something about that that leaves me a little bit empty. Because I do want to promise today, when Ayden was put below ground, that we will get justice for him. We have to promise. It's so important for that little boy to have set an example for the rest of society about how we treat each other and how we operate. and how we get out of control so quickly today and take actions against other people, and some people think without any responsibility whatsoever. I'm here to tell you, this is Orange County, California. When you commit a crime in our county, you're going to be held responsible to the fullest extent of the law. And lastly, I sent a very stern warning to these individuals within the first week after May 21st, when Ayden was killed and died shortly after being shot on the 55 freeway. And I was unequivocally clear with them: turn yourself in. Turn yourself in. And they didn't. And they didn't. And so now it's time for the system to do what it's designed to do, and that is hold people accountable. I want to thank you, the media, because you are incredibly responsible for getting the word out to our entire country. We receive contributions, donations from the entire country, from New York City to California and all places in between. And that's you. I would submit to you, as members of the media, this case has disturbed you like it's disturbed all of us, for the reasons I think I articulated. It could have been you, it could have been your child, it could have been any one of us on any day driving along the freeways of Southern California. We've got to do better, and we will. God bless Ayden. God bless that little boy, and may he rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. I can answer some questions. I know that it was said before, it is an ongoing investigation. We're still looking at certain things, so we are going to be limited in some of the questions that I can answer. So,
would you please tell us the names of these suspects that have been arrested?
the suspect number one is Eriz Marcus Anthony, and the driver of the vehicle was Lee Wynn, W-Y-N-N-E.
Did any of the information relating to this arrest come from the public that would make someone eligible for the...
I apologize. It's Wynn Lee, W-Y-N-N-E, and the last name is Lee. I apologize.
Did any of the information leading to the arrest come from the public that would make someone or some people eligible for the reward money?
With regards to the reward money, we're not going to discuss that right now. We had hundreds of tips from the public. It was extremely helpful, and we really appreciate
Was
the
it
tips.
crucial to finding them? Was it...
A lot of the tips were helpful along the way. Yes.
Do you believe someone might be eligible for the reward money?
I'm not going to discuss the reward money at this time.
When you say tell us about the weapon and with regard to the vehicle, was there any effort made to hide it or alter it?
So, with regards to the weapon, I can't discuss anything related to the weapon. The vehicle was located at another location, and we were able to retrieve the vehicle.
Was there any change made to the appearance to try to hide it?
Ongoing investigation, I can't give you information related to that.
Did it appear that it was being used for the last 2 weeks?
So the information came in, it was pretty fluid. I can't tell you, no, we were not following them for weeks on end or, from the beginning. It was pretty fluid, and when we were comfortable making the arrests and we felt we had enough, we went in and made the arrest at the appropriate time.
What was the tipping point here? What led you to make the arrest?
The information that we have, the information that we were provided through our investigative steps, but I can't go into what those investigative steps are.
When did you have an idea?
I can't confirm any of that.
Because there's such a timeline on the point where the people narrowed down to 2 suspects before we actually made the arrest. How long was that journey?
I can't go into the specifics of the time period, but when we felt we had enough information that we could make the arrest, we did. We went in and made the arrest.
Question for Mr. Spitzer, if you could. You say you're going to go ahead with charges on these. Is there specific charges that both these people have filed against them, or can you give a range of what they may be facing as much as potential charges?
Yeah, Pete, as I indicated already, we're in the process of evaluating the evidence. It would be unfair and potentially prejudicial to the defendants to put out potential charges that we don't even file. So I'm very, very reluctant to indicate what that is. But I will say in general that when you shoot at an occupied vehicle with a gun, that's an inherently dangerous act. And when you're going down the toll road at 75 to 80 miles an hour, that when you put a bullet into somebody's car, that's an inherently dangerous act that can result in a person crashing or being hit by a bullet and the like. And it's not just philosophical or theoretical, it is practical because it actually happened. So shooting into an occupied vehicle is a maximum of 7 years in state prison. In Orange County, in contrast to Los Angeles County, we file sentence enhancements, and shooting a gun into an occupied vehicle adds an enhancement of 25 to life. That is for shooting it into an occupied vehicle. Then, of course, there's also the theory of murder for doing a reckless act that results in the death of another human being. And so these are the potential charges we're looking at. But again, please do not report that we have indicated what we will charge or as against whom. I just wanted to give you an example of the kinds of charges that are at least in the realm of possibility as something we are exploring, but we have not committed to any charges at this time.
As a follow-up to that,
I'm sorry, Vicki, go ahead.
You said that you asked them to bring themselves in, and then you just said clearly they did. So you probably thinking that's someone who knows them?
No, what I meant by that comment, when I said it, I was indicating at the time that if you came forward and turned yourself in, that is considered a potentially mitigating factor in the big picture. That you took responsibility and that you wanted to turn yourself in and take responsibility, in contrast to creating a manhunt. We went on a manhunt. Yes, the duration in the grand scheme of things was relatively short, a couple weeks, but we didn't know what the outcome was going to be. And you heard from the chief that the arrest was quick, based upon enough information to have probable cause to arrest at that time. But the point being is that this could have gone on for much longer. I put that out early on to make it very clear that my office would consider that as a potential factor in mitigation when we discussed what the potential sentence might be or the consequences. But they did not take me up on that offer. And at this point, quite frankly, I have absolutely no empathy or sympathy whatsoever.
What did Ayden's mother tell you guys after you told her an arrest?
I'll turn that over, Captain Harris, if there's anything you'd like to add.
What was the question, sir?
What did the victim's mother tell you after the arrest?
Well, the victim's mother, quite understandably, I FaceTimed her, and I let her know what had taken place. She was very emotional, but in terms of what was shared between the two of us, I'll allow her to share that if she'd like, but otherwise I'd like to probably keep that private.
Thank you.
What was the reaction from the
Sir.
suspect when early on in the investigation how rare this particular automobile was and that you were working with DMV records? Did those records assist you in locating these two, or was it tips or surveillance footage or a combination?
It's exactly what you said right there. It was a combination of everything. Looking at all aspects of the investigation is what we were able to do.
What was the rarity of the car a key factor?
The rarity of the car, yes, that does help. If you have a white Ford F-150, that would make it a little bit more challenging, but this was a much rarer vehicle, so that did assist us when you're watching videos in order to see the type of vehicle we're looking for.
Can you describe the car, the suspect's car, who owned it, where did you find it? Can you go into
I can't go into those details. The details that we gave in our press release gave the year, make, and model of the vehicle.
Chief, can you tell us what the car is registered to, the gun that was found is registered to?
We cannot go into those specifics at this time.
Sir, were the suspects surprised when they were arrested? What was the reaction?
It's a typical takedown that you're going to see, and yes, I would say people were surprised.
Can you describe the location? Where were they arrested?
Can't go into the specifics of the location. No.
Chief, your press release last night said both suspects are going to be charged with murder. You guys still stand behind that?
Basically the charges are in the hands of the district attorney's office right now, and they will file the appropriate charges at that time.
Chief,
So
was the arrest actually made at a home or location, or was this a DCT?
it was made in Costa Mesa. It was made in the city of Costa Mesa. Not going to give the specific location of the arrest at this time. I won't give the specifics of how it went down at this time. So.
Confirm if the car was found.
was found at another location.
That-
Having to give that location different from where they were.
Yes. So.
What was the question? I'm sorry, what was the question?
So the question was what I had answered earlier, if the vehicle was found at a different location, and the answer to that was yes, it was at a different location.
Can
So
you confirm if that was Whittier?
I can't confirm the exact location of the vehicle was
And
found.
on that, just on that note, you said the gun was found. Was it also found at another location, or was it found
The gun was found at another location, yes.
same location as the car?
I'm not going to go into the specifics, but it was at a different location.
So, were there any other weapons confiscated in the arrest?
That's still part of the investigation. So we're circling back around to a lot of investigative questions. At this point in time, I'd like to end the press conference. Our PIO will be here to answer, and he can do one-on-one interviews with you if you would like. But we're getting into investigative steps, and I hope everybody really understands that the last thing we want to do is say something or do something that causes the investigation or compromise this case. So that's the reason we're keeping stuff a little bit tight right now, because there is something that could be said that could jeopardize, and we don't want to do that. Ayden deserves the justice. He deserves to have all this go forward, and so we're going to leave it at that. So
Releasing photographs of the suspect.
we'll make a determination of that. So okay.
Will you make it in the next hour?
It looks like we'll be releasing the photographs of the suspect. So
You and the DA agree. Just a question about whether that road rage incidents are on the rise, and so what's being done about it?
so we're here to discuss this case specifically and to go over this case. And so I'm not prepared to answer that question at this time. So thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it. You have a wonderful day. And to reiterate one last thing that DA Spitzer said, media, you were amazing in your assistance here in getting everything out there. And I cannot thank you enough for putting all the information out there that was relevant. So thank you all for your support and help.
Can we have
Thank you.
information expanded?
Pardon me?
I'll provide that information.
All right. Thank you. Assistant Chief Don Goodbrand. Last name is spelled Goodbrand. First common spelling Don, D-O-N. So thank you.
Potential participants. We don't have any evidence of that. There are people who engaged in conduct, if you will, that might be seen as helping, but it wasn't nefarious and it wasn't criminal. So, of course, if information came to us where we thought that somebody was, say, another accomplice or accessory after the fact or things like that, of course I would certainly consider that. But I'm just telling you, as of now, it's just.
What happened first? You found the car first, or you arrested them first?
They were arrested, and then the car was subsequently located after the arrest.